Hi there, welcome back to Nadine's Coastal Kitchen. We're in summertime recipe mode, and when you're on vacation on the East Coast, one of the first things that comes to mind are lobster rolls and fish and chips and lovely things like that at seafood takeouts. I like lobster rolls, but one thing I love even more is a Lobster BLT. And today we're going to make one of those. It's like a BLT, bacon, lettuce, and tomato, only it has lobster in it, and we're kicking things up a notch with really good bread, home smoked bacon, and some nice local tomatoes and crisp lettuce. And we're just going to have a blast making this. It's going to be so delicious, and you'll think you're on vacation on the east coast of Canada. So let's get started. Okay, to make our lobster club, the most important star ingredient is lobster. And I had this in the freezer, left over from a lobster boil from, about a month ago. I always cook more than we intend to eat because I know I'm going to make yummy little things later on. So this is about just over half a pound of lobster. This recipe makes two very hearty sandwiches, so a quarter pound of lobster per each sandwich. And I have a really nice tomato and some romaine lettuce that I've washed. And if you have a head of romaine and you're going to make another type of salad, if you can dig out these nice little crisp hearts and save those for this sandwich, this will be really nice. I have some beautiful bakery bread from a local bakery, and I also have some smoked bacon from a local butcher. The other thing that we're going to do with this sandwich is use the tiniest amount of mayonnaise in the lobster. I have about 2 tablespoons here. We're not going to use anywhere near that amount. I just have a little bit scooped out into a dish here. And we're going to toast the bread, and we're going to rub the bread with a clove of garlic. You don't have to do that, but I find it gives a little hint of garlic flavor, and you wonder, what's that tastes so good? So the first thing we're going to do is get the bacon started. You can cook it however you like. You can do it in the oven, you can do it on top of the stove, you can do it in the microwave. Just get it nice and crisp and render off a lot of that fat. And I think we all know how to cook bacon, so I'll just show you what my bacon looks like when it's done. So we've cooked our bacon, and it's nice and crispy. However you want to cook your bacon is fine, whatever your favorite method is. I just find that the crisper, the better. You don't want it burnt, but you don't want it flabby. You want that nice crunch when you bite into the sandwich. So I have 3 slices here, and I'll just put those to one side. And we have our lobster. As I said before, I have about just over a half a pound of lobster that came from one small lobster. Now let me see if I can open this up. And I vacuum seal my meats before I freeze them. It preserves them for a lot longer than if you just tuck them into a Ziploc bag. And so I'll just set that to one side. So I have a half a pound, just over half a pound, I keep saying that, but a half a pound of lobster. So I've got a tail, 2 claws, a couple of knuckles. I think someone might have eaten a knuckle. Haha. And part of the tail portion. So it's all been cooked and cleaned. All I have to do is chop it up. Now, one thing with the larger claw, there's a piece of cartilage in here, and you don't necessarily want this protein either. It tastes okay. It's just it's not the prettiest. So I'll just put that to one side. And as I was saying about the larger claw, you're going to find a piece of cartilage in here. So I just cut into that, and it usually will come apart in 2 sections. Now this one is making a liar out of me. There is no cartilage in there, but I would still cut it open, Make sure there's nothing tough in there. The cartilage is like a bit of shell. I'll check this one too, just to make sure. I'll cut in there. Yes, I think this one does have the cartilage. No, it does not. Isn't that funny? Some of them do, and some of them don't. But it's good to just check everything over, make sure there are no bits of cartilage, no hard pieces of shell. And now what we're going to do is just cut our meat into little bite-sized chunks. You want it to be bite-sized pieces, but not too small. You want people to know when they're eating this sandwich that they're eating lobster. So little pieces like that. This recipe should make 2 generous sandwiches. Depending on the size of the lobster you have, you might get more than that. So lucky you if you do. Some of these tail pieces are kind of big, so you can cut the tail right down the middle. There's your lobster. I'm going to just put this in a little bowl. I don't put a whole lot of anything in with my lobster when I'm making just a simple lobster salad like this to fill a sandwich. I use the tiniest amount of mayonnaise, some freshly cracked pepper, and really that's about it. You could put a little sliced green onion, some chives, a little finely diced celery, but I like the unadulterated lobster. So if you happen to like celery and green onions and all that, go right ahead. But I would urge you to first, if you're new to eating lobster, I would just dress it lightly with mayonnaise. So I'm going to start with maybe a scant tablespoon and just gently coat that. I find sometimes people put so many things in with their lobster salad when they're making a lobster roll. You can hardly taste the lobster anymore. And I know I'm going to be putting bacon and lettuce and tomato with this, but believe me, the bacon, there's something about the taste of bacon that really makes lobster shine. So look at that. I've got the lobster is fairly well coated. I barely used a tablespoon of mayonnaise. That's it. That's all I'm going to put on the lobster. So I'm going to just tuck this into the fridge. I've washed all my veggies ahead of time, so I have my lettuces all washed. There might be a little bit of water on the lettuce, so just shake that off on a tea towel. Separate your leaves. We're not going to use all this lettuce. I'm just separating it while I'm here looking for the best leaves that will be the most appetizing in this sandwich. So we'll put that to one side and we'll slice into our tomato. This is a beautiful firm tomato. I'm going to take that core out. And then I'm going to use a serrated knife to cut this into nice slices. And I think about 2 or 3 slices of tomato should do it. And do it according to your taste. When you're making a BLT at home, you know, have a nice slice of tomato, not too big, not too thin. So I've got some nice slices of tomato. And I have some beautiful homemade style bread. This is potato bread from a bakery in our community called the Le Havre Bakery, and it's lovely. So I'm just going to slice 4 slices of this and put them in the toaster. And I'm not going to toast it hard, I'm just going to give it the lightest little toast. I'll cut the heel off. And I think when making a sandwich that really is a restaurant style sandwich or a luxury style sandwich with ingredients as precious as lobster and really good quality bacon and a really good quality tomato, it's the sum of the parts. So you've got really good quality ingredients. Don't cheap out on the bread. Get yourself some really nice bread. This is a celebration of summer. Even though it's a sandwich, it is a sandwich that you could order in a restaurant and just be over the moon to have this. So I'm going to toast these bread slices and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have toasted my bread, and as I said, very lightly toasted, not really any color at all. It's just crisped it up a little bit and made it slightly warm. I've peeled a clove of garlic and I've cut a piece off, and I'm just going to rub this gently over the warm bread. And that's just going to lightly scent the bread with the aroma of garlic. It's going to give the sandwich a beautiful taste. You're not rubbing hard, it's just the slightest kiss of garlic. And I'm going to put a little softened butter just on one side of each sandwich. And the butter and the garlic will all mix and mingle together. Remaining mayonnaise, I think I'll put a little bit on this side. So we've got butter on one side of bread and mayonnaise on the other piece of bread. Did I say side of bread? I mean one slice of bread. Mayonnaise on one slice and butter on the other. And again, everything is very lightly dressed. And now I'm going to pick out the nicest lettuce leaves. I'm not going to throw these little bits and pieces away. I will use those in a salad. I think these inner hearts that are so nice and crispy are lovely to use in this sandwich. I'm going to put lettuce on both sides. That's get a little water on it, so I'm going to shake that off. And I'm just going to eyeball half on each sandwich. Try to get it as even as you can. You don't want your partner to get jealous. And this is about a 1/4 pound of lobster for each sandwich. And these smaller leaves of lettuce act as little cups. They'll contain the lobster. And the lettuce will also keep the bread nice and protected from any moisture that could come from the lobster. So now I like a little black pepper. So just going to give that a little cracking of pepper, not too much. and a couple of nice slices of tomato. I think 2 is good. If you wanted to put 3, you could put 3. Again, I won't be wasting any of that. And I'm taking my crispy bacon and I'm cutting these in half. And 3 slices on each sandwich. So 2.5 slices on each sandwich. So I've cut 3 slices in half, and there we go. Now, put the crown on top. Aren't those beautiful? You have your nice thick layer of lobster salad, crisp lettuce, a beautiful sun-ripened tomato, crispy bacon, and really nice bread. That's a wonderful summer sandwich in Nova Scotia. Now, hopefully I can cut it in 2 without mangling it. Wish me luck. I might be using the wrong knife for this, but just be decisive in your cutting. Yeah, there we go. How beautiful is that? Mmm, yummy, yummy. Shall we see how it tastes? Lost your piece. I wish you could be here to taste how delicious this is. It's nothing fancy. It's just a beautiful, beautiful way to enjoy lobster. And a few fresh veggies from the garden. Happy summer. Thanks for coming to Nadine's Coastal Kitchen. Do I have mayonnaise on my face? If you like this content, please give my video a thumbs up. And I'd really love to see you here again next week. So please subscribe, and I promise we'll be making something delicious. Bye for now.